Alright, what up, DudeTube Nation? This is Nathan, your community expert, Matthew, your manager of dudes, and Danny, one of our guests for the week. We are going to just have a good time right now, just hang out, do whatever, talk, just hopefully this goes somewhere and we aren't just lame tonight. Alright, Danny, how you doing?
I'm doing.
Danny?
Danny,
Hello.
did you die? Danny's
Hello,
using the school here's Wi-Fi internet stuff, so if he kind of explodes, that's why.
Can you not hear me, or am I okay now?
There he is.
Yay, he's back.
Weird. I don't understand.
I don't
Understand.
Alright, so Nathan, you want to start us off again?
Sure. So, what do you guys want to talk about first? We have a few options. We have
Number 2.
Boston. Oh, okay. Number 2, gaming.
Yes, I win.
All right.
What about it?
So, in general, your thoughts, your favorite games, your favorite, like, of all time, like, your current favorites, your of all time favorites, stuff like that.
Oh.
Maybe what you're currently playing, Danny.
Hello.
Danny, what are you currently playing?
I'm currently playing Terra Online.
Terra Online. Currently playing, as you can see as he looks over, he is actually playing Terra Online. Which might not help at all for his camera quality, but whatever.
Nah. Who cares?
I guess so. Alright, Danny, so is that your favorite game of all time? Your current favorite game?
Yeah, I've always been more of an MMO guy. Although, I kind of wish I played more of single-player games, but, you know, everyone kind of has their favorites.
Indeed.
Matthew, let's hear from you.
Oh, for me? Oh, okay. So my current favorite game? I don't even know. I've been playing a lot of League recently, but other than that, I haven't had much time for gaming. Amnesia is a really fun game. I haven't played it much recently either, but it's really freaky and it frightens me, so that's probably why I haven't played it much. My all-time favorite game. I have no idea.
Oh, come on, you totally know it.
I don't know. What
Come on,
game?
man.
What?
KH.
Super Mario 64. Bam.
You know you
No.
gotta love that Kingdom Hearts.
Who doesn't love Super Mario
No,
64?
You're probably right. It's probably Kingdom Hearts. Just the series in general. I love it all. It's really awesome stuff. So just their artwork, their gameplay, just everything. The story.
Isn't number 4 coming out soon? Not soon, but...
Number 3, and they haven't actually announced it. They'll probably announce it at E3. That's my guess.
Dude, that means this year, maybe in 2 years. That sounds awesome. I want to play it.
Yeah, there's only one issue. I don't have a PS4, and I don't have the money to afford a PS4. And we all know that's where it's going to come out on. Unless, like,
Right.
it's Magic and it's on the PS3, which mine's broken anyway, so that doesn't work either. The PC would be cool, though. Just
Oh my
saying,
gosh,
Sony.
Kingdom Hearts on the PC sounds broken.
I don't
Sounds
know if I
like-
could imagine that, honestly.
Oh, no, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, I like a lot of
I don't
PC
think
gaming.
over-the-shoulder games. I don't think over-the-shoulder games with fighting aspects work well on PC.
Assassin's Creed does. I actually like it,
haven't
but
tried it.
it's so much better on PC. I hated the controls for the Xbox. So, yeah.
It's interesting.
Alright, Nathaniel, your turn.
All-time favorite that I end up going back to all the time definitely have to be RuneScape.
Really?
Yep, veteran RuneScape player.
Oh, man.
And though I hate it so, oh how I hate it so, it always drags me back in somehow.
I really loved RuneScape. The only thing I hated about it was when you die, you pretty much lose all your gear. So it was, for me, like, why would I get all this gear to like risk losing it by dying or getting ganked. It's just it's the only thing I hated.
I don't even
Otherwise,
do anything to lose my gear ever. Now, literally all I do on that game is I buy and sell and buy and sell. It's like a freaking stock market for me now.
I played like a
All I
total.
do every time I get on is I make money.
I played like a total of an hour on that game, and then thought this is stupid because at the same time I was playing WoW. I was like I couldn't afford WoW for a month or something, and so I went to RuneScape, and I was like, this sucks. Why would I ever want to play this game? I have
see,
WoW. Oh, and I don't play WoW.
lucky my
And he cut off again.
Danny's gone again.
Danny
Oh no, I
gone.
can hear you.
okay. Yeah, my transition was from RuneScape to WoW, so I got kind of lucky on that aspect, I guess.
And right now, current favorite? It's hard to say. Really liking the new Call of Duty, but I love League. League is awesome. League of Legends. Great game. But it's really close tie between those two right now. The new Call of Duty is kind of wearing out on me, though. I'm kind of hoping that the next one's going to be good.
I think it's time for a new game.
Yeah, I think with new generation consoles coming out, PS4, Xbox, whatever they're gonna call it, they're actually gonna. I hear they're gonna call it Xbox 2.
Really?
Yeah,
I heard
Rather
720 for like 10. Like since
Yeah,
they
I heard-
released 360, they were talking about the 720.
I keep hearing the words 720, and so I actually have heard from a more reliable source, it's not gonna be 720. That they're gonna call it more. They're more than likely gonna call it like Xbox, like just average Xbox or Xbox 2.
That doesn't make any sense because it'd be like Xbox 3.
Either. Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. But I think it's about time a new game series took over. We transitioned from original Xbox to Xbox 360. We went from Halo being the dominant to Call of Duty taking over, and I think it's time something else took over.
I don't know. Halo was still pretty dominant until after Modern Warfare came out, which was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
The original Modern Warfare came out, and that's what dominated. It came out when the new consoles came out,
Are you sure?
because that was Call of Duty number 4. We're on Call of Duty, I think, 9 or
I don't-
10.
I don't know what Call of Duty we're on, but I thought
All right,
it came out.
I'm gonna count it out. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 5, World at War. Call of Duty 6, Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty 7, Black Ops. Call of Duty 8, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Let's see, and then so we're on Call of Duty 9, which is Black Ops 2.
Right. But I thought the other one came out like a year or two after the Xbox 360 came out.
It might have been, but
Because
Call
Halo
of
was
Duty took
still
over.
very dominant. And then I thought Halo 3 and Modern Warfare came out at the same time-ish.
Halo 3 did really well, but they were never quite on par with how Call of Duty did.
True.
They still did really well, and for a standing game, Call of Duty comes out with a new game every year. Every single year you can expect a new Call of Duty. But with Halo, they had a long-standing game. They came out with Halo 3, and they're like, and you're stuck here for the longest time, and then we'll come out with a new game. So they did really well for that, especially. But Call of Duty just came in and wiped out. Especially when Modern Warfare 2 came out, it was game over for Halo. They weren't going to take the top spot again.
I still like Halo better, but whatever.
I enjoy Halo. It's not a bad game.
I don't know, space is pretty sweet.
I agreed. Definitely agreed.
You can't argue with space.
What do you think of Halo, Danny?
Halo,
I agree with his
Call of
silence
Duty,
and his robot.
have to be like.
Maybe?
Me?
I think we missed that all, Danny. All of it. Like, you were
all
fine.
of
I was watching, and you were fine until you started talking.
Damn it. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way down there.
So basically, I've played both of them, and not really, a big fan of either. It's just not like, oh, like the new, yeah, so,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Every person their own.
Yeah. Not
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
not like they're bad games. Like, me personally, like, I'm just not a big...
You're cutting out.
So bad.
Dang.
It's only when you're selected. It's almost frustrating.
Hmm.
Mm, that's bad.
Well,
I don't know how we're gonna fix that.
Danny needs better internet. Are you gonna get unlimited on your phone, Danny? And connect to that?
Well, that's
Hopefully.
actually what I'm using right now for my desktop.
Oh wow. This is running a lot better.
Yeah, it would run a lot better than it is now, for at least this stuff.
Nice. Alright. So let's go into the next topic, Nathaniel.
Okay, Boston bombings.
Boston bombings. Oh gosh. Ugh.
Alright, I'm not starting this one out.
What's that? You're not gonna start this one
I
out?
am not gonna be the first. I
Fine.
am not starting talking about this.
I'll start with what little knowledge I know of any world news. So a lot of people know that, or don't know, I don't know, that
I don't know.
there was a marathon at up Boston at the very end, I guess, when the person finished or something, the first person got first. There was an explosion, 2 people were killed, a bunch of people were injured, and they've been trying to figure out how this, like, who did this and all that, and some recent stuff I found out, there was, I think it was a shooting at MIT. Yeah, it was MIT or something, or a bombing there as well or something, and they found that they believe there's a connection between the two bombing incidences. And then there was another where there was 2 people, and the other person was found on a boat, and he was surrounded. The guy who did the MIT stuff was killed or committed suicide of some sort. I don't know. He's dead. And the guy on the boat, I don't know what happened to him, but supposedly they were trying to get him alive to find out why they were doing this and all that. But that's really all I
Alright,
know.
you want to hear? You want to hear a much more expanded version of that that actually kind of narrows everything down?
Well, aren't we just so smart? Sure, go
Well,
for it.
I've really kept up on it because I'm a runner myself, and it really concerned me, Boston Marathon and all.
I see.
So what happened? It wasn't when the first person crossed. It was so the first people cross in a marathon, the fast guys, around 2 hours, and then everybody else kind of trickles down through there, and then your average runners come in at about 4 to 4.5 hours, and around that time is when the bombs went off.
Okay.
And they went off like, I'm going to say 15 seconds, maybe even less than 15 seconds apart from each other. So like boom toward the start, and toward the finish line, and then go boom to a little bit like 100 yards away or so. The two major suspects were Turkish, I think. They were Turkish exchange people or whatever. They came in on student visas, and they've been here for over a year. And those are the 2 main suspects. They got into a shootout, and one of them came out of like the area they were hiding in, strapped with explosives, like ready to go blow himself up. So they killed him on spot, and then the other guy got away. He stole an SUV from that same area and just sped right through all the cops and got out of there. That's the guy from the boat that you're hearing about, who they have just recently arrested, and he is actually um, fighting for his life in a hospital bed right now.
Interesting. Did they ever find out the motive?
They haven't, but they've gotten a hold of like the kids' parents and stuff like that, and apparently they're pretty much in the dirt kind of guys, like they were poverty stuff like that. So they're not 100% sure, and they're not even sure that these are definitely the guys. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty big deal where they're pretty sure, but it's not 100%. So these guys could have just been in the shootout and all this other stuff and it be completely not connected. But with the chance of it being connected, they're not sure of what their motive was and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So what I actually really want to talk about the most was when they found out, like when the bombs went off and all that, and they had a good amount of information on the suspects. They pretty much locked Boston down. They cut off all traffic exits, stuff like that, and nobody went to work that day. They cut off all public transportation, stuff like that, and that kind of concerns me. I don't know if it concerns you guys at all, but the fact that we have like the power in our government to just say all of a sudden this city is shut down kind of concerns me.
I, it's hard to like have an opinion on that because I like it's kind of frightening that you could think at any time you can be under martial law, but at the same time, would you rather have that and be safe most of the time and have a martial law almost never? Or would you rather have something where you could never have martial law and these people will get away for sure because there's no way of stopping them because everything is going like normal? And they can get around just fine because public transportation is open, they can blend in with crowds and all that other stuff. So it's a double-edged sword, but in the end, it's probably better to have it as opposed to not.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Danny?
Yeah. As far as I've heard with this stuff, there was one post I saw on Facebook about how there were the two bombings, and then there was something passed in the government. I forget what the bill was called, or I'm guessing it was something probably bringing up a lot of debate. I really don't keep track of politics or government or anything like that, so I just heard that the government was using kind of like hide.
Cutting out, Danny.
Dang. I don't even know how much you guys heard, so.
I heard the word hide. I heard pass something. That's about all I heard.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Basically.
And now we can't.
Matthew, keep yourself selected. Try one more time.
Okay. How the government was trying to use the bombing incidents to hide that they passed a certain kind of bill.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which bill it was, but
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that personally, so.
Yeah, I don't either. But the place I come from on this thing is it's a really like scary thought. Definitely that there's people within our nation willing to attack our citizens, and it makes me scared to just be around. But at the same time, I don't want ever to have my freedoms taken away. Like if I want to go to work tomorrow, I'm not going to let my government stop me. You know, like it kind of gets to me, and I stand really strongly by what good old Benjamin Franklin said quite a ways back, and it's you never give up a little bit of liberty for a little bit of security. And it's just it's hard though because like it's easy to let them go, you know, when you get if you're not giving up your liberties.
Right.
mhm.
I had a
I
thought
actually
on
wrote a
this.
paper about this in English like Friday.
It's it's hard to draw that line because the citizens, I think, shouldn't have to protect themselves when the government was made to protect the citizens. But at the same time, you're right. We can't give over our liberties for security. But I don't. I'd rather stay at home and not work, and because that's also a traumatic experience for everyone in Boston. So maybe they didn't want to go to work. Some people may have, but I wouldn't want to, and I would want to stay home and make sure that everything, like, figure out what's going on with everything, because that's a pretty big incident that it's something you really gotta deal with. You just don't deal with it when you're working and busy, so I think productivity would be very poor anyways.
Yeah.
So
In other news,
Other
did you
news.
guys hear about Waco, Texas?
I have not.
The other.
Fertilizer plant.
Yeah, the other explosion.
Yeah, the other explosion. This one
Oh,
isn't like on purpose or anything like that.
oh no.
Just a fertilizer plant caught fire and blew up and leveled 4 city blocks.
Oh
Well,
wow.
how big was the plant? Or do you know?
I don't know how big the plant was, but I'm guessing it was a normal size, like fertilizer factory kind of
Hmm.
thing. So it's
Well,
going to be fairly big, but not huge.
I don't know if you know any of the old stories, but ships used to have a lot of fertilizer in them, and when they caught
I think I
fire,
told you this.
you
I think I
probably did
told you
tell
about
me
this.
this, didn't you? Yeah, I remember that. I was half asleep at the time, and yeah, it wasn't pretty. Anyways, and for those watching, the fertilizer, if they ever caught fire, the whole ship would just explode. So, it makes sense that if some accident happened and something caught, it would just ignite that whole building. So,
Yep,
accidents happen.
fertilizer
It's sad though.
explodes. You know what's even worse about fertilizer fires? Putting it doesn't go out with water. It gets fueled with water.
I don't know if field's the right word, but yeah.
Like what you spray it down with water, and it makes the fire worse.
Well, it's like grease fire, so I don't really think the water fuels the grease fire. What it does is it spreads it, I believe, if I remember correctly.
It's
So,
scary. I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know the chemical makeup of it, but it's a scary thought that it starts making it worse. And when like so, some of the stories that I've heard about it is one ship has fertilizer on it and it blows up, and they're trying everything they've got to make it go down and all that, and just it's so easily flammable fertilizer is that just that little bit there spreads to another ship that's got fertilizer in it.
right.
You end up blowing up like a whole dock full of ships. It's a bad, bad thing.
Ships full of. Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should tell the story of how it got that name.
If you
The
want to.
the excretions from your body have the name a certain name that starts with an S, about 4 letters long, and this name came about a certain special way. It actually has to do with what we're talking about now. So
Surprisingly.
fertilizer is cow
Manure.
poop. Yeah, sure. We'll call it whatever we're gonna call it. But
Cow pucky.
it's cow pucka. But so when you gonna ship that, you have to be careful to make sure that water doesn't get to it, because water can cause it to blow up. It can cause a reaction within the boxes and like start to expand and such, and that doesn't go well. That doesn't It gets ugly from there.
Hmm.
And so they actually used to label the boxes that had manure in them SHIT, which stood for Ship High in Transport. Thus we have shit.
Fun lessons, yay. I am learned today.
Are you learned today, Matthew?
I'm learned today. No, my brain is fried.
You know what's really strange? So the fertilizer plant that blew up,
Hmm.
it was a much bigger explosion. There's been more injuries and more deaths from it, but nobody's scared that their fertilizer plant's going to blow up. Everybody in America currently, I can say at least has a little bit in them that's kind of goes, is my town going to be next on a terrorist attack? Like, kind of shaky about it.
I I guess I really can't like say you shouldn't be scared, but my advice to anybody who somehow stumbles upon this podcast is never be afraid of stuff like this. There's no point in worrying in fear. Living in fear, living in worrying in fear. Yeah, my brain is fried. Just be prepared. It's going back to my martial artistness. Um, I I'm not afraid of people who are around me, um, because I've learned a lot about different people who can be dangerous, different ways to people scope you out and all this other stuff. But I'm not afraid constantly that I'm going to be attacked. I'm just prepared, and it's we use an analogy to camping. That if you were going to go camping, you'd bring your sleeping bag because you don't want to freeze to death, right? You'd bring medical stuff just in case, whatever. And you'd bring like food because you want to eat. And it's like you're not doing this because you're afraid that all this bad stuff is going to happen to you. You do it because you're just going to be prepared just in case it does. And it's the same thing. It's you have to be prepared, but not worried or afraid. So
I actually I wrote, like I said, an English paper on this on Friday, and it was about like not being afraid. So like my thing was that if we stand together and unite as a country rather than split off into all these separate sections where part of us hate the other and all that, then the people that are like truly trying to be like these fear causes in our life, what they want is for us to be afraid of them. But if we can stand together and not be afraid, their cause is unworthy.
I'm sure unworthy is the best word for that.
It's not, if it's not working. How about that? It
Non-effective?
wouldn't work. Ineffective.
I know what you're saying. It's just unworthy is
Not
kind
worthy
of.
wasn't.
I don't.
Yeah.
They're not really worthy to be. No one is worthy to try striking fear into the populace of anybody, But that doesn't mean they don't do it.
Yeah.
It's ineffective, I guess, if you were trying to. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So do you have what's that?
It's strange how scary a number of people are compared to a powerful people, right? Like if you have 20 powerful guys, 20 really weightlifters, and you have 500 people, all of a sudden 20 weightlifting guys doesn't seem like a big deal anymore.
Not really.
Yeah. So it's all in the masses. The power's in the masses.
How many can each of those weightlifting guys take out? If they can each take out 50, you're screwed.
Yeah, then you're screwed. Man, if only... Man, I really hope they can't take out 50 by themselves.
It's not even 50, actually. I think it's...
We'll make it simpler. We'll make each of them take 10. There's 50 of them and 500 people. They're still going to lose.
Oh no, 10 people's not that many people. If you're huge.
If they're all coming at you at the same time, I'm pretty sure you're not going to
Okay, that's a little different. One at a time. I will survive.
All the stinking video games. Okay, stupidest thing, like in Assassin's Creed, there's a crowd of 80 guys around you. They're all wanting to kill you. One of them attacks you at a time. One.
Well, I think that's a little understandable because if you think about it, the mechanics and reactions of games are nowhere near to par of ours, or else the games would be a lot easier. So they can't have like 20 people attack you, because I could probably defend 2 or 3 people at once. It would be difficult, but I could probably do it. In a game, someone's behind you, someone's in front of you, you can only focus on one in this game. It becomes near impossible, and you probably die each time. So it's a little easier. Though in Assassin's Creed, they don't really... Number 3, they do add a couple more attackers sometimes. But
I think if you manage to get a crowd of 80 guys on you or something crazy like that, you should be dead.
should be.
You should either have to be a superhuman trait to take them on or to escape somehow, or you should be dead. I think that's how the game should run. Because frankly, I got, like, the other day I was playing Assassin's Creed Revelations. And I swear, I went on a rampage throughout the city, and I just started killing all these guards everywhere, all this stuff, doing everything against the rules, and there was a Templar attack on my place or whatever. And there was like 40 of them. I'm not joking, 40 of them around the city block. And I just kind of went around and started taking them out one by one. I think if you get 40 guys on you, you should be dead. Or running.
Video game logic. It wouldn't be fun if you just die.
So I'm making a video game, and it's not going to be any fun.
My game is no fun. Do you want to buy it? Yes.
You know what? If I marketed it right, you know 1 million people would buy it.
Actually, there is a game like that. It's called Dark Souls.
Yes.
It's like impossible. I actually own this game.
Nice way to put it.
I own this game, and I got like a level in, and I was like, I hate this. I don't understand how living. Then
You
you're not
obviously
living.
haven't played Ninja Gaiden.
What's that?
You obviously have not played Ninja Gaiden.
Oh god, Ninja Gaiden.
That is
Isn't
the
Ninja Gaiden
most
like?
impossible game of all time.
I thought Ninja Gaiden's like you press a button, everything around you explodes. Or I think of a
No.
different game.
There was this one video I watched where the guy's like on the first level, on like the easiest difficulty, and they just throw him into a fray, and he dies every time. And he's raging so hard about it.
Literally, I would be like, I would proclaim it on top of a mountain if I beat Ninja Gaiden.
Interesting. Dark Souls is pretty similar, but I don't think it's even that bad.
Like I said, you talk about Dark Souls, and I'm like, oh yeah, Dark Souls. I'm pretty sure you haven't played Ninja Gaiden.
Still, Dark Souls is freaking annoying. You can't deny it.
Yeah, there's no denying it, no. There's some hard games out there, but man, you run into certain ones, you're like, God damn it. And then 2 seconds later, you die again, you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's Dark Souls as well. There's just some games that the purpose is to be frustrated. Like the impossible games online, or whatever they're called, but like
Oh,
the
I
rage
love that
games.
That game.
The rage games.
I want to be the guy.
You want to be the guy?
That's one of those games. We just have to die like 10,000 times to beat a level.
Yeah.
You just have to memorize all.
Yeah, one of the games is Cat Mario. You like move a foot and like you just explode somewhere, and it's like what? I've seen some
videos of
playthroughs.
that.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny to watch people rage at it though. I feel bad though. It's hard for me to watch people rage because I feel bad for them, but they're just so funny. Oh gosh.
I like watching people rage. It's kind of fun, but then there comes a point when like some guys try to make it funny, like that they're raging, and so they go worse and worse and worse, and then finally it's like, dude, you are obviously faking your rage. If you were really that mad, you'd quit.
Mhm. There's some people who won't. They won't quit or they're not faking it, and it's just hilarious to watch them.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
So Danny, are you a casual gamer or intense?
With MMOs, I've always just played it nonstop, but like I'll play here and there. Like I'm nowhere near as bad as I used to be in high school. My days are literally play games till like 2 or 3 a.m., go to school, sleep in school, go home, play games till like 4 or 5, and then go to work, and then rinse, repeat. It's pretty awful. It was fun, but it was awful. No life.
At least it was fun.
At least it was fun, and at least I was making income. So,
Two of the best things in the world, fun and income, which I have none of.
You have none of either.
that's depressing.
I have fun. I get to work out. Sometimes.
Did I actually not like disconnect that time? Was it?
No, you were actually good the whole time. It was like
Oh wow.
I was thinking of giving you a award of some sort. Like Danny did not disconnect. Number 1 achievement unlocked. You
I
know.
would appreciate this award actually.
All right, Danny, you get the achievement. Did not disconnect.
Sweet.
Dang.
My life is now complete.
10 gamer score.
So you have
All
any
right,
other
Matthew, I want you to explain to the world man points.
man points? Oh my gosh. All right, this is simple enough. Man points. You get points for being a man or doing manly things, and not being a man as in I'm technically a man and an adult male. I can man. No, you have to do something manly and be manly and awesome. So you get man points for like lifting a boulder or karate chopping through a brick, stuff like that. You lose man points when you do something very girly, such as seeing the Twilight movies, number 1. 2, wanting a happy ending for your life. Nathaniel, what? Who said that? Number
Gonna
3.
kill you. God damn it. I lost man points yesterday. God damn it.
It was funny though. Yeah. So you can lose man points, and you have to get your man points back by like doing 100 push-ups or something. Something
I
manly.
actually
And
did push-ups today with my sister.
I don't know
We
if that's
did like
manly, dude.
we did workout stuff because like she was challenging me. She thought she was like fit, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show you, girl. I'm gonna show you who's fit."
Interesting. Your family is odd. But yeah,
My
that's
family's
man
very odd.
points.
I did
And
a successful 360 push-up today, though.
that is painful. Is it the 360 over your back or all the way around? I always forget.
So it's where you're doing a push-up, and then like when you're gonna do a clapper, how you get your hands off the ground and you clap.
Uh-huh.
Okay, for a 360, you get your hands off the ground and you churn. So you like if this was my body and I'm doing like a push-up, okay, then I'm gonna go boom and flip all the way around and come over and then land back.
That's a manly push-up, guys. That one gives him man points. He redeems himself from yesterday. Don't worry, he'll lose it again soon. He'll do something really
Shut
girly.
up. Shut up. I'm not going to talk to Haley until probably midnight. Okay, I don't lose man points till then.
Until midnight.
That's like,
Oh, speaking of which.
It's not midnight.
Oh, no, it's not
There's someone at
midnight,
your door.
But I was hoping. There is?
Yeah.
Is there seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Kind of.
One second, I'm going to be there in a second, man.
Alright, I'm gonna defend myself with this thing here. It kind of freaked me out.
what happened?
Nathaniel? Alright, guys. There's someone there, I swear. Who is it? Is that Paul's car?
Dude, it is Paul!
Oh my gosh! Paul! Oh my god! He about gave me a heart attack! Oh god!
And I'm not over there, sad.
Yeah! You jumped right in the middle. Oh my gosh. Oh,
I saw Facebook post you guys are doing a podcast, so I was like, detour.
oh god. All of a sudden I just hear this knock, knock, knock. My first thing is someone is trying to kill me. And it is Danny.
And we just got done talking about Boston and stuff like that.
Alright, I'll go ahead and... Oh, man. It's probably gonna sound awful at first.
Continue.
Alright, you're gonna just wait for a while.
I'm just gonna chill.
Alright, he's gonna chill, guys. Okay, man points. Paul, give me an example of something that gave you man points.
Let's see.
Paul doesn't get man points, ever.
Taking off my shirt
Taking off his shirt. I don't think so.
when it's not hot.
Ooh.
Mhm.
That's pretty close.
Terrible example, but it works.
It's close enough. Alright, so you got another topic, Nathaniel?
I do now. There's a crazy lady. You've met her. Named Susie.
Oh
Okay,
god.
and she likes to just show up at my house.
Does she
Okay,
still?
So yeah, she still does.
Oh
Sometimes.
god.
Like it's not often anymore. My grandma's kind of shoot her off, but she still shows up sometimes. Freaking okay! You said there's someone at the door. I was like, God damn it! Don't be Susie. I was gonna be pissed.
This is not the right time for you, Susie.
All right, Matt. Let's hear the Susie story from your perspective. 'Cause
My
I don't wanna give it
perspective?
from my perspective ever again.
Alright, okay, so... Well, I'm telling the stories today, aren't I? Anyway. Susie is, I suspected at the time, a nice lady, older lady, that needed some spiritual help, I guess. That's what we were told. So Nathaniel went ahead and called a bunch of us. Were you there, Paul?
No.
No, Paul wasn't there. Who was with me?
Paul was there. Paul was there.
Yeah, Paul, you were there.
I was there.
He was there. He just doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, so we all showed up. It was a group of 5 of us, I think it was, 5 or 6, and we
5 or
surrounded
6.
her, and we all put our hands on her like a weird occult thing, but whatever. And we started just praying and stuff, and it was really cool. And I was like, it was really touching. And then And it was just fine. She's like, okay, and she's like, I love you all because you're all special kids. Not many kids to do this. And we're like, okay, that's cool. And then she goes to Nathaniel, and she just starts off by putting her hands on him and says, "Now, you've helped me. There's something you have to do." And we're all like, wait, what is he talking about? And she started, there's someone that you have to be seeing now. And you must do the same. You must reconcile with them. And I was like, okay, something's going really weird right now. And I was like, okay, so does he have some sort of family issues? He's like really intense right now? I don't know. I was really confused. And she like almost pushed him against a wall. Did she push you against that wall? Like completely? Yeah?
She did. She had me completely against the wall.
Okay, so he was against the wall.
Did you see she had me by the back?
I'm pretty sure. Did she have you by the back of the neck?
She had my hair, the hair on the back of my head. She was pulling my hair down.
Oh, I thought she had like. Oh yeah, she was like right there. It was weird. Anyways, like so Nathaniel doesn't want to break this lady, so he's being nice and just going with it. And he has her. She has him against this wall. And she turns to us and says, "I'm glad I got like my titanium knees." And his legs were wide open at the time. So shortly after this, as she continues talking about, I have no idea what, I don't remember anymore. We run away as fast as possible, and like we get told that she wasn't quite right, isn't quite right, and that she just randomly showed up here. So it's like, what? We just did this whole prayer circle for a crazy lady. That was my real take on it. I was a little freaked. I was good until like the last part. Then I was a little freaked, and we're like, I think Nathaniel's going to die because we all left while he talked to his grandma about the whole situation. Oh my gosh, it was an experience, that's for sure.
Yeah. Scary moment when an old lady has your legs spread, has you against a wall, and says, God taught me when to use my titanium knees.
See,
I don't understand.
that's okay, Danny.
That's all that went through my head.
I'm in martial arts. I don't know how you guys wouldn't understand this by now. But anyways, so I spar. I sparred yesterday night, actually. No. Is today still Saturday? Yes, it is.
Today's Saturday.
It is still Saturday.
So Friday night, and I was sparring this girl who's like 5 feet tall, almost maybe. She's really short. And to begin with, I was, okay, we're going to go in there. She throws a kick, and I'm wearing a cup, of course, because I'm not an idiot. And she actually hooks under the cup a little bit. That's some of the scariest moments of a guy's life, when all of a sudden he feels that his ghibli bits are in danger. Especially since the first time I ever sparred, I went in for a regular punch. I wasn't wearing a cup or anything. It was my first week. I had no equipment. I just went in there with one of my friends who was a higher ranking belt, and I went in for like a punch, and he reacted with a heel or hook kick, which is interesting. It's like hooking someone with the back of the head with your heel, but he did that to my groin instead. I wasn't wearing a cup, and he went right into my left nut. I remember this because shortly after that, my friend John, I walked up to him and he randomly kicked me in the right nut, so it was even. About a year later, I was sparring a blue belt. I was a purple belt at the time, which is right under blue, and he went in with another hook kick, and this time he moved my cup over, because I had a cup at that time, and hit both balls, so it almost floored me. It doesn't feel good. You feel like your kidneys are going to explode, for one, and you feel like you'll never have children, ever. It's an awful feeling. Paul, you moving around? What are you doing? Alright. So that's my stories. I don't know why I told you, but now you know.
Now we know. Danny, do you have any scary balls time stories?
I don't have my own story, but there was one time where I think it was a middle school field trip. We went to Ashland and we stayed there for a couple of days. So we were sleeping in some kind of dorm, like room, whatever. And we thought it'd be fun to have a pillow fight. And so, it's like 10 guys slapping each other with pillows. All of a sudden, this one guy, he's like 6 foot tall. He's buffed. It's scary, he's just a big guy. Somebody comes up with a pillow and hits him right in the nuts, and he's just down. And it was just like, you just see this 6 foot tall big guy just get dropped, to his knees by getting hit in the nuts with a pillow. It's just like, what?
That's a pretty good
Yeah.
story. So Nathaniel,
One of those moments.
Yes, Matthew.
I think it's your turn to reveal your story. Your stories,
My
if you have any. You have any stories?
My stories? Dude, you told my story. My story was the starter.
I know, but we moved on from that.
We moved on from that.
We are now
I
talking about nut shots. Cornholio.
I have a million nut shot stories. I grew up with two little sisters,
Oh,
but those aren't fun.
any starting
That
out
is
like?
why I'm now resistant to nut kicks on main base.
Oh my gosh, it just. Oh, that reminds me of videos of pain. So
I told my grandma about that one today.
really. Ugh.
Yeah, we should link it in the description.
I'll go ahead and link it, but I'll give you a short description of what it is. It's sports science, going over this guy, this martial artist, who has trained his body to take a kick from an MMA fighter, or harder, supposedly, like this, any force to the groin without being phased. Any force. This includes the pelvis part, where if you were to hit your pelvis hard enough, it would snap. It doesn't bother him at all. I don't want to spoil it. Oh my gosh, you just got to see it.
Tell him about the part with his throat.
Huh?
Tell him about the leading up part, the part with his throat. That's a pretty good descriptor.
Was that a chop that the guy did?
Yeah, he did like a chop.
He got like a chop right in here, and his whole face was like, and it was one of the more awesome slow-mos I've ever seen. But he just like walked out of it like, yeah, good hit. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a strange training. Actually, they have like an online thing where you can learn to do it, but it requires that you take several, like, over the course of a year, you're supposed to take, like, I think it's over 1,000 hits to the groin.
Oh.
Oh, that sounds awful.
To begin with, would be so bad, and like, how would you? Children is not a thing anymore at that point.
Dude, but you can tell, like, that dude, no matter how much, like, that dude is definitely still capable of having children.
You think so?
Oh my god, did you hear his voice?
Hey, there's ways of deepening voice. Lots of practice. And you can sound like Sean Connery or Bane.
When Gotham is burnt to the ground, then you have my permission to die.
See, I can sound like Bane. I'll be right back. I've been power drinking these Powerades, and I had to
I
pee
think
like
actually-
a racehorse.
Better idea is that we should end.
No, never.
We ended on it's a good note. We should end.
All right.
Danny, it was nice speaking with you.
Yeah, I wish the internet was better, but, what can you do?
I think we are welcome. I think I'm welcome to talk on mine and Matthew's behalf. You are welcome to join us again next week.
Sounds good.
And did I say that was okay? Oh, it's okay. Yes, so you want me to say goodbye to everybody?
Yes, Matthew, with the outro.
With the outro. Alright, everybody, thanks for watching. If you liked, go ahead and drop a like. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. It helps us so much when you guys do, and it's, so far you guys have supported us greatly, and it's really nice to know that you guys care at least a little bit. So, yeah, do tune on, my friends. See ya.
YouTube Nation!